Hey guys, what's up? It's a new video, and our first official video if you don't count the intro vid. And this video is going to be my 2021 spread. And I've been bullet journaling for about 3 years now. This is my 4th year, which is crazy. And I think bullet journaling is such a great hobby because you could literally do anything in your bullet journal. Like, it doesn't have to be as neat or as nice and beautiful looking as some people do it, or takes as much time. You could just do whatever you want in your bullet journal to write down ideas, sketch some ideas, a lot of idea stuff, and use it as your agenda. But it does take a long time if you're doing a 2021 or any year spread starting, because you're basically setting yourself up for the whole year and organizing. So these spreads take a long time, so strap in for the video. And as you can see, that was my 2020 spread, which took so long, and I wanted to do something more simple this time, so I'm doing a web search theme, and that's been done a lot of times, but I wanted to do something different and more modern, so it's going to be a Google web search. And as you can see, I did the flower loop loading screen thing from a gradient from lightest to darkest, and now I'm bordering the page with a light blue Tombow. And next page, so this page I'm gonna put a quote on, and on the page on the right we're gonna do an index page. But I don't understand why I put an index page, because it's usually at the beginning of the bullet journal, but I just put it at the beginning of the year, so I don't know. But we are doing the same thing as we did for the cover page, and outlining in blue, and then my quote says, "It's a new year, fresh start, fresh energy, and new opportunities." And I put fresh in the search bar, and you would think fresh fruit or fresh music, I guess, would pop up first, but no, fresh start, fresh energy, yes. And the little web search bars are going to be kind of like the title holders for these spreads, and you don't have to do them that perfect, the magnifying glass that perfect. I just colored the empty space in, because you could go back in with the white pen to neon that up, and I did add color. I boxed it in with red, and now I'm adding a drop shadow because everybody loves a drop shadow. And I did color that in with a pen, but I did go back with my Tombow later. And I'm darkening the red because it needs to pop more. And as you can see, I did go back. Now, I drew that waffle, but you could ignore that because I did end up erasing it after. And now I'm going to do my index, which shouldn't be there, but it is. But I wanted to make it look like a manila folder, so I did a light yellow or pastel yellow, and I'm coloring that in and with the dark brown drop shadow, and I'm outlining it, boxing it in. And now, as you can see, I'm touching it up with my white jelly roll. And I did, as you can see, I do cover up the waffle. And I forgot, but I'm gonna finish up this page because I forgot to add the shortcuts. So I did start, middle, and end, and the colors are blue, yellow, and red. And I did change the dark brown words to black because I didn't really like it. And now on to at a glance. And again, the search button for both pages, this is going to be half at a glance and half future log. So I'm drawing those web search bars, but this time below the web search bar. I'm not going to put the shortcuts, but I'm going to put the options that you get when you search something. and I'm doing the all in blue, so it looks like you're on that web page. But my other ones are books, news, images, and more, and you'll see how they come into play later. And just like the normal at a glance page, just write down all the months, and I did them in blue, so it looks like kind of like the website, and a little drop down arrow in very light gray. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the SMTWTFS, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, for all of the months. Now I'm going in with a lighter gray for the days of the month, and I was deciding whether to do light or darker because I don't know which one looked better, but I chose lighter. But yeah, so you don't need to see me do that because it takes a long time, so there you go. Now I'm writing down the titles, which is at a glance for this page, and future log for the next. So we're going to go on to future log after I touch up some things and erase all the pencil marks or guidelines that I put for myself. And I do go in with the light gray marker or Stabilo to make some division lines so it doesn't look that empty. Starting my future log, for this one I did the same options that you get on the top, but this time I did books in blue. Books not because of the actual reading books, but I just thought of it as bookmarks to fill that space in. And I'm doing the line and the about how much time it takes for the web search to come up, which is in seconds and then shows results. But this time I did the amount of months and the number of days. And now I'm gonna go back doing the writing the day of the month and the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I'm going in with the numbers, and you can see why that it takes so long. And you usually get sick of numbers when you're at the end of doing these because you have to write so many of them. Okay, next page, which is the same exact thing. A lot of repetition here, but it's going to be on both sides of the page, but I'll only do the options on one of them. Next page, and which is the same thing again. So I'll save you guys the time, and because I already set up the page and now I'm just putting in the numbers, and make sure to put them in correctly or it's gonna be a real disaster if you don't, because you're gonna have to fix it. Now next page, which is a quote page, which is the same thing as my first quote page, with the options, but this time I circled start in a gray, and I drew a cursor so it looks like it's clicking it, and it takes you to this website that says a wonderful quote. The quote says, "Sometimes all you need is a fresh start." And I think it's so true, because I feel like at the end of the year, you're just swimming, or your brain is muddled with old ideas. And sometimes you just need something fresh, which the new year could give you sometimes. And I think that's especially this year. And just ignore me struggling with my Tombow. It's running out of ink, so it took extra time. A little bit empty, so I went in with my blue Stabilo and added some droplet-shaped accents, and I did go in with the light blue Tombow in the corners, and I underlined sometimes with the very light gray, so it's just small accents. And page flip, and this is a spread that I always love to fill out by the end of the year because I think it looks so cute, and it's something that I created. You guys could correct me on that. But it's a year in spreads page, and essentially it's just mini versions of all 12 spreads, but as you can see there's 8, so I'll make 4 in the next half page. But for the options I did images, because it's essentially images, and if you don't know how it works, you can see that these are the spreads from my last 2 years, the first 8 spreads, and if you want to see the last 4 of the last 2 years, then you could go to my Instagram account, which is jd.customart on Instagram, and I'll leave that in the description. So you can see how my style of spreads are, to see if you like them. And yeah, so I'm just drawing all 8 boxes, and I'm rounding out the edges so it looks like half of a page of your bullet journal. Just fixing it up and erasing all the outlines. Time, because this video is getting long, I already made the next page. So the next page is my goals, and I divided the page up into 12 for the 12 months, and the option for this page is going to be more, and more is a drop down box, so both my options are goals and ideas will come in later. But I did more in blue, and as you can see I'm writing down the months in a different font and in blue. And as you can realize, I went down half the page, and I had 7 months left, and so I got confused, and I looked back, and I see I forgot May. And as you can see also that I continued ignoring that, because I didn't want to deal with my problem. But now, as you can see, I am taking excess paper from my older bullet journals and cutting them to size and double side taping them to it. And I'm gonna write, hopefully, in the correct order this time, second time's around. And I did add the drop down arrow. Next page, and I'm going to be setting the next 2 spreads at the same time because this video is getting long. And so for the left page, it's my most memorable page, and for the options I'm going to do news in blue because most memorable is kind of like news in your life or news in the year. So, and the right is going to be ideas, and ideas could be video ideas. Maybe you could leave some in the comments below. Drawing ideas or gift ideas, because I'm very bad and I'm very last minute at gifts. But I'll just do the drop down box, and as you can see I already did it, same spread as my goals page, and the videos or ideas page actually is just a box. Very simple. You can see that I'm dreading to start this page because I knew it was going to take very long. And the left page is going to be my basically recap and the beginning of the year notes to myself. And I always wanted to do these pages, and I always want to write recaps at the end of the year, but I always forget to make those kinds of pages. So I remember this year, so I'm going to do it. And the page is set up like an email draft. So I just made 2 boxes. The top one's going to be note to my future self, and the bottom is going to be a follow-up, which is basically kind of a recap. And I did the little send button in blue, and I'm just adding the little details, and I did do an M with a red pen, just to make it look like the icon. And I did do the little waffle this time, but I'm not going to erase it. And I'm finishing it up, so we can go on to the next page, and the next page is going to be so fun and interactive because you guys can join in on the fun too. So for this page, it's basically when you search up a definition for a word, and this is what pops up. And the word I wrote was 2021. And the definition I put was, well, I put it for a noun, and then the definition I put, a year of new opportunities, fresh start, new memories, and change. And I last minute decided to put ... hopefully, to match the optimism that I'm going for. Hopefully. And at the bottom I did translation and more definitions, and this is where you guys could also make it your own by people also asked, which some of what I did was what is in store for 2021, or how is 2021, and will 2021 be as bad as 2020? I guess we'll see. And we're all done. And I'm just going to clean up my desk so we can get to the flip through. And now back to the beginning from where it started, and this is the final flip through. We're nearing the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for the people who stuck around, or the people who clicked on this video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in a couple days maybe for my January spread. I hope you stick around, and bye.